a couple weeks ago, I was commissioned to make a Christmas present for a woman I work with, so that way she can beat her brother, not her brother, it's for her brother, beat her sister at giving her brother Christmas presents. I don't really know the full story behind that, but I'm like, that's pettiness I can get behind. So I decided, of course, I'm going to help out because, you know, duh. And I came up with this. Of course, he's a pretty big anime fan, so a Japanese tanto, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, pretty sure it's right, is then, you know, perfect. A little bit of water there. This isn't quite done in the traditional style. I know it says Japanese, but this is fairly American. If you've seen my tactical wakizashi video, this is made pretty much the same way. I got the pinned on, whatever the hell this part's called, just scale. This is full tang. Oak scales instead of G10. Then I get a nice paracord wrap handle. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know, I'm using a phone and I can't see the camera. So, of course, all the steel is spring steel because it's about all I had that actually work. It's pretty sharp. I didn't intend to grind this far back, but I accidentally did it, and honestly, I think it looks really nice. Goes through just about anything, even though it's pretty thick. Got a nice balance to it, and it's honestly just kind of a fun knife to use. So I'm going to make a Kydex sheath for it. Not historically accurate, but as I've said before, I don't care. Anyway, I think her brother's going to like it. I mean, by the time you're seeing this, he's probably long since had it, because I don't think this will be live till like, what, March? Maybe early April. But currently it's November, so. Anyway, I'm going to go in because I am not dressed for the breeze that is currently blowing down the back of my neck. And hope you enjoyed the video. Okay, now that I got everything all forged out, I kind of went ahead and cut in my handle a little bit. If you watched my wakizashi video, still hope I pronounced that correctly because it's not up yet, but it'll be up before this. Anyway, so if you've seen that one, I basically made a cutout on both sides, and I kind of had an awkward thing here. Now what I'm going to do is actually have this flat, have this piece pinched on here, and just have it wrap around. There, my guard fits here. Which, honestly, I was also thinking, too, you have to have something to stop the guard, but then I'm like, this piece sits here, the guard's not going anywhere. So, anyway, this probably won't make a lot of sense if you haven't seen my other video, but either way, I'm also going to forge a piece of steel to wrap around here and make a steel guard. But I haven't gotten to that yet. So what I'm going to do is shape the blade here, so it's not, you know, wider at the tip. It's not too bad most of the way up, if my camera will focus. There it goes. But still needs refinement, of course. Of course, put the edge bevels in. And the handle needs to be shortened because at the moment, like the guard there, kind of have a long handle. I kind of want a long handle, but not like the same size of the blade long. This is a bit much. I'll probably cut it, you know, like here or something, you know. I definitely want to have a big handle. I don't know why. I just think that'd look good. Okay, now that I have this sanded out the way I want it to, wasn't going to have that big of a bevel on it, but that's just the way cookie crumbles sometimes. Anyway, so this nice little strip of steel here, nice piece of spring steel that I hammered down, is going to be this little piece here. Don't ask me what it's called, I don't remember. But anyway, what I'm going to do is, same as I did with the tactical wakizashi, which I think this is going to be kind of my go-to for this design, is I'm basically going to fold this in half, fold it to where it fits on right here, then cut it down and rivet it in place. I'll rivet it once it's heat treated, of course, but get everything drilled up beforehand, and yeah, hopefully that won't take too much, but that also has a nice spacer for the guard here. Not actually a guard, or the Japanese style swords and knives don't seem to really have actual guards. I mean, they do, but not in the same way like what a European sword will. So anyway, I don't remember this terminology. I'm tired. I would say it's been a long week, but it's Tuesday. It's a long Monday. Anyway, nothing philosophical on you. I'm going to go heat this back up in the forge, heat up onto here so I can cut it and rivet it in place, and then I'll get started on the guard, which is just another flat piece of steel that I hammered out. Okay, so I started making the guard for my katana. I don't know, it's never called a guard, but I can never remember what it's called, and I'm way too tired to look it up. So anyway, what I did is another flat piece of steel, same as I made the other piece with. But see, I drilled holes. This is for where the tank's gonna be cut in. Please forgive the loud truck that just went by outside. I actually don't know if you can hear that, but I did. Anyway, I drilled a center hole, which I usually don't do, but since these are round or round-ish, I just put this piece of scrap. This is just a 1/4-inch steel tube that I usually use for like pins. I'll thread this and put screws through it for a lot of my like tactical knives. That just fits in here. I just took a piece of wire, wrapped it around it with the Sharpie, and just went around. Made a nice circle. Now that that's done, I can pop this out, which I don't think I'm going to be able to do one-handed. At least. Well, that worked. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is just take my iron grab with the cutoff wheel, just kind of start cutting around here, then go to the belt sander, clean it up, and then cut this slot out to where it fits onto the knife handle. And then I basically have a guard. I might shape a little bit because the tactical ones I didn't make them completely round, so I probably won't make this one completely round, but I'll make it, give it a little bit of style to it. And then of course I'll have some holes I'll drill in, but I'll just probably do it off screen because it's not actually important. I just think it looks cooler. Okay, so got everything assembled, got that pin in place, got handle scales on it. Realized I forgot to film all of it. Anyway, just some chunk of oak. That cracked. Don't use oak if you plan on looking at it, but this is going to be wrapped up, so that's not an issue. Again, got a 1/4-inch hole drilled there, which just be where everything's tied together. Steel pins, because I couldn't find the brass. I'll probably find it tomorrow. How it always goes. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is take my flap disc, clean this up, get it to where it actually fits my hand properly, give it a bit of dark stain, so that way just that little peeking through the, the gutted paracord I'm going to use for the wrap, it's just going to look really nice. And honestly, this is coming along. This is a cool knife. I like the way it looks. I'm glad I kind of come up with this setup. That looks a little weird, but actually I don't think it looks bad if you really look straight down. It kind of has like a offset look, which is kind of what I was wanting, but just didn't turn out as well as I'd hoped. Anyway, I'm going to start getting this thing looking like a handle and functioning like a handle. It's kind of awkward to hold it. Okay, so for the handle, once I get a bit of wood stain on here and it's sanded, what I'm going to do is start making my paracord wrap. So what I did is I just took all the insides out of the paracord, and now I'm just kind of wrapping it around. Basically, it'll focus in there. Sort of, maybe. I don't know why I went grainy. Either way, what I do is I basically wrap it around and then just, oh, don't do that. I have it kind of clamped in here. That kind of, one of these spray actually really helps, but when I'm trying to film, it definitely is not. So what I do is basically when I wrap around, I just take the back one, lay it down, and just take the one that comes from the front, lay it over, and I'll flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. But what I'm also going to do is along kind of the metal parts here, I'm just taking a bit of JB Weld. I'm just going to put a little bit along there as I weave it in, so that way it stays in place. First time I did this, it had kind of like a ring here because it was the, is it supposed to look like a kunai? Not technically a kunai, but kind of that style. So it wasn't able to really slide, but since this is open, it's going to slide down. So a bit of JB Weld along there, and then this hole here will be drilled in. And once it's weaved through, I'm going to take the string, stick it through there, and tie it off.